Hello everyone. So we are back with another SQL tutorial video in which I'll be solving this question for you guys live, which is amazing. Okay. So if you guys have not been following my channel, a quick walkthrough. I have been in the SQL industry, data science particularly, for almost 3 years now, and I've been doing SQL for probably more than 3 years as of today. So I enjoy doing it, and I think it's one of the most important languages, particularly if you are looking to get into the domain of data analyst or business intelligence. So it's a very important skill that you should know. So that's the reason I really push people to do SQL, and that's the reason I also make these videos. So about today's question, okay. Today's question, I would say, is not only technically tough to do, but a very logically tough question to do. Okay, so a lot of time the questions are just about knowing the syntax. Okay, and just if you know certain thing words, then you can do it. But today's question, you really have to have a logical mindset to do it. So make sure you guys watch to the end of the video and understand how to do it. And if you guys could like the video and help support in any way you can, like share with your friends. It really helps me, keeps me motivated in general to do this thing on a consistent basis, because I'm also working and everything, so it gets tough for me. Okay, so yeah, so let's get into the video. I'll share what the question is, and then get started solving the question for you guys. So let me share the screen. Okay, so what is the question today says? Okay, the question says that, okay, so this is the table. Okay, and it's called as ordering A. I'm just created this random table out of nowhere, and the question says that find the customer whose first order was also their highest amount order. Now let's look at the order in here. Okay, so if you look in here, that the question is simple, that if the order was first, okay, um should be the highest order amount, and we want that as the output. Okay, let's see what is the expected output. So they just want this as the custom order. This is the output they're looking for: 234, 203, 204, 205, 206. That's what they're looking for, and this is the table that we have. Then let's just read the table through once and see what the question says. So it says that the first order is 150 and the later order is 300. So the first order was lower and the second order was 300, so this is not qualified. Okay, now, the first order is 200 and the later order is 250, so it is not qualified. So the question is simple, that the first order should be the highest order. Okay. Now, only one order, so it's qualified. Okay. And only if you look in here, the first order is only one order here, so it is qualified. Now, you might guys might think that this is a very simple question, because you might be like, okay, what if I just select all the customers who have given just one order, and voila, I've solved the question. Okay, but this is not where the question ends. Okay, and but let's, if you read the data further ahead, you say that, okay, now if the question which you might have been thinking, that if I just select any customer which has only one order, I'll get the answer and question is over. But look in here, there is a customer who has given order twice. Okay, on the 2nd of January and 5th of January. Okay, and they have placed two orders. Now how you select in it, so it's important that you're able to select the 500 from this thing. So this is a qualified order. Okay, but in here there's another scenario. Okay, where the customer has given order on two different days, but the order amount is similar. So you have to still qualify it, so this is a qualified order. But look in this. Okay, the order is given, in the first order was 100, the second order was 200, so it's not qualified. So it's a very good logical question, okay, for you guys to solve. Now, as you guys know, please pause the video. Do not just jump into a solution without thinking it. Give 15 minutes, experiment with it, experiment with your thoughts, develop a ability to think on how to solve this question. Have some, write down on a pen and paper. Just don't get into like writing queries. Okay, just write on a piece of pen of paper, like what is the approach, what is the question is this one. Okay, first order, also the highest amount order. Okay, you have understood the logic behind, you can't just select one or customer space one order, so how would you go about doing it? Okay, so think about that that way, and solve it. Okay, and then come back to solution. So I hope you guys have by now solved the question, and you guys are watching it after watching, trying it on your own. Now, let me see what the question is asking. So let me done this thing once and see. Okay, so this is the question. It's what we're getting. So let me start with creating a CT, something like that. Okay, not a CT. Okay, yeah, CT would be nice because I'm just gonna write. Okay, I'm gonna write like select. Okay, select from ordering A. Okay, ordering A. Okay, and what do I want? So I just think, so let's first of all, I don't want this order ID. It's just a waste a column, honestly. So I'm just gonna write customer ID. Okay, because it doesn't make sense. Like order date. Okay, yeah, yeah. So customer ID is something I want. Okay, and what is something that we are looking for in this one, right? Um, let me do this. Okay, so yeah, let me try this one. Okay, and I'm gonna do this. Okay, so how I'm gonna solve this question? So think in this way. So they also want two things in here. Okay, so they want it to be that it has to be the customer. It has to be a first order, but it also has to be the highest order. Okay, so if you think about it, if they wanted something to be the first, okay, the first thing that comes to my mind is using one thing called as what is it called as? It is called as using a row number, okay? Because what they are saying is that when the question comes anything related to first or second, I just my mind just goes to understanding that I have to use row number here, okay? So let me just go ahead and use row number here, and I'm gonna do row number over, okay? Now understand what I'm trying to do. So I'm just trying to rank uh for every customer. I'm just trying to rank it by the order date, okay? So I'm gonna do partition by customer ID, and order by what? Order by which date? Order date. Why are we doing order by order date? Simple, because that's what we're looking for. Okay. Now let me just run this. Okay. Hold up. Let me see this run. Okay. So we have run this query in here, and okay. So what have I done in this query? Let me just put in as here. Okay, as RN. So what do you think this has happened in this? Let me just also add order date here so you can understand. Okay, order date. Okay. So what has happened in this question? Look at it. So what I've done in here is that I've just used a row number, and I've partitioned it by the customer ID, and then I've ordered on the basis of this order date. So now I have something which is that, okay, whichever happened on the first. So I have this data set, right? Now another thing that you have to do in here is that what is another question is saying? What is the other part? So we have solved this part, okay, the first order. Now, this thing was also the highest amount order. Okay, so if I want to find the highest order for each of the customer, how do I do it? Very simple. I'm just gonna write it here. You don't need to do it like this. I'm just gonna do max, okay, of what? Amount, okay, max of amount, okay. Why? Because I want the maximum amount over, and for which I'm looking at, I want it to be in the for each customer. Okay, am I correct? Because that's what we're looking for, right? Max amount. Okay, so let me run this once. Okay, so let me just also add an amount table here, so it'll be good for understanding. Okay, amount. Yeah. Okay, let me put this down. Okay. Yeah. So if you observe one thing, what has happened here? So I've done two things here. Okay, I have the original customer ID, order date, amount. Okay, so I've created basically two of this logic here, which is the RN, which basically says that whatever is the first date that happened here. So it has happened, ranked it by this. Okay, and also it has also what has done is that has created like a max amount for each of the category. Okay, so it has done that. Now, if you guys have understood till this point, if you actually be able to solve it here, it's amazing that you guys be able to do this logic, because this is an extremely tough step to be able to do that. A lot of people do not have the logical abilities. Some people can write this one because a lot of people have been using row number for a while now, but this is one of the toughest thing people cannot think of. Okay, and so if you're able to do it, pat yourself at the back. Amazing. Okay, Now I'm gonna just put this into something called as like ranked orders. Okay, put this into a CT, and I'm gonna do something like this. Okay. Yeah. So okay, so I'm gonna do select. I'm gonna do select customer ID. Okay, customer ID from ranked orders. Okay. Okay. Now I have done this. Okay. What's invalid object? Okay. What's wrong with it? Okay. Okay. So what is the output you want? Okay. Now, if you observe, if you remember this one, okay, let me run this. Okay. What is something that we're looking for? Okay. If you remember the question, we want something which is the first order, also the highest amount. Okay. So I'm going to do a very simple query in here, which is simple. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to select wherever the RN is first, because we only want which is first. And another thing that we want is that their first order should be equivalent to their max amount. So let's look at this. So 150 for this one I'm selecting. 150 is equal to 300, disqualified. 200 equals to 250, disqualified. Third one, okay. No, look, 20. Let's get 203 here, okay. 203. 100 is equals to what? 100 is equals to 100. This is the first order, right? And that is what has happened here, okay. Hold up. Hold up, okay. Row number, okay. Let me see if I put here, okay, as RN, okay. RN, yeah, ordered by, let me just remove this here, okay, and see if this runs properly, okay, as ASC, okay. So, yeah, ASC, okay. Okay, so yeah. So if you observe one thing here, 123. Okay. Now look at this 203. Let me, okay. So if you look at 203, what has happened here? The first one is 100 and here is qualified. 203, 204, first one, 400 is qualified. 205, and look at this two. The first one is 500, so it is qualified. So this is what you're trying to do. So I'm going to do a simple logic in here, which is where Rn is equals to 1, and now you tell me what should do. Amount should be equals to max amount. Simple. Now, let me run this. Perfect. The question that is solved here. This was the where I think so. This is last step wasn't that. This was a logical step, but the main logic was involved to be solved somewhere around here. If you were able to do it, I think you probably were able to solve this question because you thought in this way. Okay. So I hope you guys understood this video. Very good question, okay? Understanding with a lot of logic in here, which a lot of people would not be able to solve it. If you will be able to solve it, amazing for you guys. So yeah, I hope you guys like enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys keep watching this video. And thank you for watching it till then. So the goal for this video is 5 likes, okay? It helps my channel grow. I really appreciate if you guys like this video, and just makes me feel like okay, somebody's at least watching this video, okay? I mean, even if I am like, if even somebody, one person watches it out of this, it really makes you feel like, okay, I'm actually doing some difference. So yeah, till then, thank you very much. Have a good day. Take care. Bye.